This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Pressure is continuing to build on Labor for it to outline its position on poker machines in the state. Liberal and Labor candidates today campaigning for the seat of Pembroke, with the by-election at the start of November.
Liberal and Labor candidates spending their Sundays campaigning for the seat of Pembroke. Labor's new candidate is the CEO of youth network organisation Why Not. Despite making a submission to the Legislative Council inquiry about ridding poker machines from pubs and clubs, Joe Seeker says it is not yet clear whether they are an issue in Pembroke.
I think when you look at things like cost of living and the impact that has, it'll be really interesting to see, but I really just have to talk to people and find out.
Liberal candidate James Walker already towing the party line on the issue.
The Liberal Party have established a clear set of principles and I support those principles.
The Liberals and the Greens forming an unusual partnership, ramping up the pressure on Labor to outline its position on gaming.
Rebecca can make a new beginning for the Labor Party and save Tasmanians from these toxic, lethal machines in pubs and clubs, and we're calling on her to make her position known as soon as possible.
Beck White has said in the past that they want to defer making a decision on this issue until the election campaign. Well, I've got news for Beck and for the Labor Party. The campaign has started. We have an election in Pembroke.
The Pembroke by-election will be held on November 4. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Police are appealing for information following reports a female jogger was assaulted on the Clarence Foreshore Trail this morning. Police say the incident occurred at around 10:35 a.m, with the offender last seen on Clarence Street walking towards the Shoreline Shopping Centre. He's being described as around 15 or 16 years old, of slim build with a tanned complexion, and was wearing a white or grey bike helmet, blue hoodie and pushing a silver scooter. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Today marks 40 years since Hobart's Tasman Bridge was reopened following its tragic collapse in 1975. Clarence Mayor Doug Chipman says while the disaster was devastating at the time, the replacement bridge breathed new life into the Eastern Shore.
Today marks 40 years since the Tasman Bridge was reopened following the 1975 collapse that killed 12 people.
Undoubtedly that when the bridge went down it was an absolute disaster, but the people rallied around behind it and pulled together, and the Clarence Eastern Shore community became very resilient as a result of that.
It took 2 years and almost $44 million for it to be fully reconstructed. For Belinda Weston, the 1977 reopening meant she no longer had to catch the ferry across the Derwent to get to school.
Getting to sport and doing activities like that after school or any after school activities made it a lot easier.
Belinda says her father-in-law saw the opportunity of increased growth in the Clarence area.
He saw it as an opportune time to obviously purchase on the Eastern Shore, with obviously real estate probably plummeting.
And he was right. The population has almost doubled since then.
When disaster struck, a lot of that development stalled, but re-energised again once the bridge reopened with 5 lanes instead of 4.
Every day, almost 65,000 vehicles travel across this bridge, making it an essential connection between Hobart and the Eastern Shore. Belinda says as convenient as the bridge is, she would like to see commuter ferries reinstated on the river.
And to explore our beautiful, our Derwent River, I think you get to see a lot more, and I think commuting will be a lot easier.
Doug Chipman agrees.
We need to put in place some action plans to come up with a smart traffic management system, which is also utilising the Bowen Bridge much better.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Family and friends of a 16-year-old Launceston boy who passed away earlier this year have used a 2020 cricket match to increase awareness of depression. The inaugural Isaac Walters Memorial Shield raising money for not-for-profit charity Speak Up Stay Chatty and honouring a young man taken too soon.
Isaac Maxi Walters was only 16 when he died. Now, 6.5 months later, his family hope his story could help save someone else's life.
Hopefully no one else has to go through what we're going through at the moment. It's indescribable, basically, and we just don't want any other family to have to suffer like we are.
Isaac was a talented cricketer, and today his former teammates went head-to-head in a T20.
It's a celebration of two clubs that he played at, in Westbury Cricket Club and St Patrick's College, coming together for a 2020 and really just sort of also relaying the message about mental health.
RULLA KELLY-MANSELL founded Make Runs Maxi soon after his friend's death.
Make Runs Maxi, is aimed to sort of focus on positive mental health and reminding people about a purpose and fulfilment in life.
Those behind the event also encouraging Tasmanians to talk about their mental health and get help when they need it.
Isaac had the world at his feet, but unfortunately with his depression he couldn't see what he had to offer to everyone, and that's what makes it so sad.
9-year-old Eli Walters is carrying on his brother's cricket skills. His older sibling Joseph overwhelmed by today's support.
It means a lot today, yeah. It's great that everyone's come here. We didn't really think we'd get this many people here, but yeah, it's pretty, unreal.
St Pat's took out the inaugural Memorial Shield. All funds raised will go towards Speak Up, Stay Chatty.
Depression is real, and I think people really got to understand that it's real, and the message has got to get out there, and that's all we want to do.
Monica Dadson at Southern Cross News.
And if you or anyone you know needs help, you can contact Lifeline on 13 11 14 or Beyond Blue on 1300 224 636. Punters from around the state have turned out to help celebrate the 10th edition of the annual Pink Cup Race Day at Hobart's Elwick Racecourse. The race day helps raise vital funds for breast cancer research, with more than $230,000 raised since the event began. Organisers of Tassie Freezing for MND say they're on track to raise their $110,000 target. More than 40 people took the plunge into a freezing pool in Launceston's CBD yesterday, raising awareness and funds to help find a cure for motor neuron disease. A gala MND ball was also held last night. Organisers say $105,000 has so far been collected from both events, and more money is expected to come in early this week. Church isn't the usual playground for our furry friends, but today dozens of poochers attended a Sunday service for a special event. With their human owners in tow, they lapped up the chance to be the centre of attention.
Dogs, cats and even bunny rabbits. They're special guests at Launceston's Holy Trinity Anglican Church.
Hello. How are you going? Well, very well behaved today. Yes.
It wasn't Sunday school the animals were attending, instead a blessing for all the creatures great and small.
It's just a bit of a fun occasion for people to come along with their pets and for us to thank God and celebrate the blessing that they are in people's lives.
The Archdeacon giving each four-legged friend a gentle pat for its blessing. Owners also receiving a certificate.
We come every year. We like to have our dogs blessed because we love our dogs. They're part of the family. So yeah, this is just, a great way to celebrate.
Hopefully it keeps him safe for a long, long time. He's a very good rabbit, and he just wanders around the backyard. He has his hutch, and he's very, very good, isn't he, sweetie?
Yeah.
The blessing of the animals is an annual tradition for many churches. It's usually held around the same time as the Feast of St Francis.
We love our animals, and it's nice just to come and bring them in together and have, in a sense, God's blessing.
And while the blessing isn't about ensuring the animals go to heaven, some hope there is a special place for their pets in the afterlife.
It'd be nice to think so. We've got a few that'll be gathered there to meet us if we get there.
Monica Dadson at Southern Cross News.
And a horror start to the domestic cricket season has continued for Tasmania, with the Tigers now sitting dead last on the JLT One Day Cup ladder after their third loss in a row. Jordan Silk the best of the Tigers' batting order, but the side managed just 207 runs, with Western Australia only needing 36 overs to chase down the total. Desperate for their first win in the One Day Cup Series, things couldn't have got off to a worse start for the Tigers, with Ben Dunk caught on a duck. Ben McDermott was looking sharp early, but his fellow top order continued to crumble, with Alex Doolan lasting just 9 balls. McDermott followed suit shortly after on 18, leaving the skipper to try and pick up the pieces. But when his day was ended on 36, and with Charlie Wakeham and James Faulkner contributing virtually nothing to the cause, the task of salvaging the innings fell on Jordan Silk and Tom Rogers. The pair managing to build a handy partnership as Silk notched up his 50 in style, but the damage had already been done, with the Tigers managing just 207 runs. Michael Klinger and Sean Marsh making easy work of the Tasmanian attack, with the first scalp not coming until the 23rd over, courtesy of Cameron Boyce. Faulkner claiming Klinger on 45, but that was all the wickets they had in them, as the Warriors cruised home with 14 overs and 8 wickets to spare to keep the Tigers winless after 3 games.
Probably didn't help ourselves losing a few early wickets and sort of stem the flow of our innings a bit. And yeah, nice, personally, I guess, to get some runs, but I'd much rather them in a winning cause.
Bad news for the Raw also, with the women losing their second WNCL match in a row today, going down by 6 wickets to South Australia at the Adelaide Oval. The Scorpions only needing 35 overs to win it, thanks to 117-run effort from Sophie Devine. Yesterday, the side were outclassed by Western Australia in their opening match, with the Fury winning it comfortably by 7 wickets. Georgia Redmayne was the best of the Raw batters with an 89-run haul.
Good evening. It's been a mainly cloudy day today with patchy light rain across the state. 20 degrees was the top in Hobart and Launceston. It was 15 in Burnie and 17 in Devonport. 25 degrees was the state's high at Low Rocky Point. It was 23 at Strawn, 21 at Grove, 17 at St Helens and Maria Island, and 13 at Lyowini. The satellite images here show mainly mid-level cloud covering Tasmania, with a series of low-level cloud bands approaching from the west. Zooming in over the state, a better look at that low and mid-level cloud. Tomorrow, a cold front sits to the east of Tasmania, with weak highs off the coast of Queensland and western South Australia. West to northwesterly winds, mostly 15 to 25 knots along the coast, with swells building to 3 metres in the west and south. There is a strong wind warning for all Tasmanian coastal waters except for the upper east coast, and a small craft wind alert for the southwest lakes. It'll be a wet one tomorrow in Hobart, with showers clearing, a top of 16. Showers for Dover and Ooze, both 15. Launceston, showers clearing, 17 the top. Devonport, showers 16, Scottsdale 15. Burnie 16, showers, Strawn becoming windy 13, Stanley 14. Showers for St Helens and Swansea, both 18 degrees, Ross a top of 17. Moderate to high UV across the state. Looking ahead to Tuesday now, showers about the west and south, clearing late in the day, fine elsewhere. We can expect light rain on Wednesday, increasing from the west in the afternoon. And Thursday, early morning showers, clearing to a mostly fine day. Around the country tomorrow, a sunny 22 for Perth, a possible shower for Brisbane, 31 degrees, Sydney a possible storm, 29, and morning showers with a top of 18 for Melbourne. Now let's take a look at the current conditions around the state. Hobart 19 and cloudy, Launceston 15 degrees with some light rain and a bit of rain in Devonport as well, 14. And that's all the weather I've got for you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Britt. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. I'm Rachel Williams. Good night.